The theory of being shipped with somebody is one thing. However, we need details, more in-depth romantic details. And that's why Abby is back with more fan fiction for Rebecca.
Yeah, Rebecca was a little upset that she wasn't shipped with any of the other cast members. And if you are a boomer and don't know what shipped means, because I had to explain this to my mother yesterday, it means basically like you really like the idea of two people getting together. You think that them being a couple would be really, really cute. And no one has shipped Rebecca with anybody on the show yet.
Which would be okay had not all of us been shipped with each other at some point on the show. She's the only one that's been left out.
Yes, Bert and Kristen have been shipped together. Tommy has a crush on Kristen, so you could ship them together. Katie and Mo have been shipped together. I'm shipped with anybody that has a girlfriend. So really, it's a little upsetting that you haven't been shipped with anyone.
Yeah, and I bravely came on and I asked listeners to do what was right. And consider me. Please.
Consider me to be shipped. So I asked people to DM me on Instagram who you think she should be shipped with. And no one could give me just like one person. There wasn't like an overwhelming, you should ship her with this person. Everyone just wanted to see Rebecca in a throuple or like shipped her with like multiple people. So I wrote a fan fiction where we did just that. And now we are continuing the story of Rebecca trying to figure out who the mysterious stranger in the dark was that she ran into while she was here in the early morning hours. They had a moment, and the only thing she could tell, because her character had an ear infection, was that they were wearing one of our Bert Show trucker hats. So will we discover who the capped coworker is in Chapter 2, I'm calling Love on Top.
Love on Top, okay.
Rebecca's tummy was rumbling with nerves the next morning in the back studio. The following encounter with a mysterious stranger had left her bewildered. So far on her list of suspects, there was Bert, Mo, Kaylee, Tommy, and Katie. Could it be Bert? He had mentioned dating some woman named Courtney on the air, but had anyone really seen or met this Courtney? Was she even real? As for Mo, he'd never be caught dead in a Bert Show trucker hat, so he was out. Then there was Tommy, who had always been a friendly face at work. Rebecca shook off the thought. Tommy was married to a literal angel of God, and she decided making enemies with God's right hand was a pretty bad way to start the afterlife, so he was off the table. As her mind drifted to her studio mates, Katie and Kaylee, a sudden noise made her jump. A figure emerged from the darkness, and Rebecca's breath caught in her throat. It was the capped coworker. "Who are you?" she asked, trying to keep her voice steady. The figure stepped closer, and Rebecca could make out a woman's face. Oh. She sighed in bisexual. Thank God her mysterious crush wasn't a man. "You don't recognize me, do you?" the stranger said, her voice dripping with a strange mix of bitterness that didn't sound like the person she had met days before. Rebecca's mind raced. She had seen this face before, but where? Then it hit her. "Elaine?" she whispered.
Twist.
Her voice filled with disbelief. Elaine, the infamous internet troll who had left countless mean comments about the Bert Show, smiled coldly.
Nemesis. Okay.
"Surprised to see me?" "What are you doing here?" Rebecca demanded, fear creeping into her voice. "I had to see the show for myself. I couldn't stay away." Elaine admitted.
Let Elaine represent all Bert Show trolls. Go ahead.
Her eyes gleaming with a wild light. "I've been obsessed with it for so long." Rebecca put her platform Crocs into sport mode. She needed to get out of there. "Help!" she cried out. As if on cue, because it was, Katie and Kaylee burst into the room, their faces set with worry for Rebecca. "Rebecca, are you okay?" Katie shouted, sweeping her into an embrace.
Oh.
"I'm so happy to see you. I could kiss you," Rebecca said as Katie pulled back to look into her eyes. Guys, a little help here," Kaylee said.
That's Katie's voice?
No,
That's
Kaylee.
Kaylee.
Kaylee said as he grabbed Elaine's wrists, tying them back with sunglasses straps that said, "Make America Tattooed Again." Katie and Rebecca shook themselves from the moment, but didn't stop holding each other. Why do you keep coming here? What do you want? Katie asked. Elaine's expression shifted from smug to confused. Wait, what? This is my first time in the building, I swear. Why should we believe you? Kaylee asked, pressing his 50-millimeter bullet fountain pen into her side. I wouldn't even know how to get in. I followed someone else into the studio. The three exchanged puzzled glances. If Elaine wasn't the mysterious stranger from last week, then who was? Just then, Kristen walked into the studio, looking bewildered and also donning a show trucker hat. What are you all doing here so early? Rebecca, Katie, and Kaylee turned to her, distracting them just enough for Elaine to reach into her back pocket. Kristen let out a blood-curdling scream and shoved Rebecca out of the way, landing on top of her graphic tee that said, "Wussy," in big white letters. Across the room, Kaylee pulled out his Swiss Army knife and put it to Elaine's throat.
Jesus.
No, go for it.
That escalated quickly.
I'm at the edge of my seat.
Finish her!
Fatality.
I literally grabbed my fake pearls.
Not on my watch, he said, pulling her hand off his actual watch. Suddenly, the studio was plunged into darkness once more. Kristen ran a protective hand down Rebecca's side as her heart pounded, and a shiver ran down her spine. Was it from fear? Or was it the concerned look in Kristen's eyes that had her tingling all over? Oh. As the darkness and soft warmth of Kristen's bosom closed in on her, Rebecca knew that if she wanted to survive, she'd have to untangle her heart as swiftly as she did her path out of the studio. End scene.
Wow. So many twists and turns.
Yes, the drama, the fear, the excitement, the bosoms.
Hey, Kristen Cole for Jesus. The Bert Show.